I called corporate, finally get them to understand that he's going to rape me if they leave me there. They call him and ask him to take me to the bus station. And they say, go get back on his truck. He's going to take you to the bus station and you can go home. And that was after 24 days. So they take me to corporate a couple weeks later, and I showed them my logbook where he wrote in my logbook. And you could tell the difference. He signed my name, everything.
He signed your name?
Yeah.
Okay, he should have been fired for that.
I refused.
That's forgery. He should have been fired for that.
And they said, well, you know what, you'll be okay. We'll give you a seasoned driver because you're done with training. 24 days. And I could probably tell you that I logged maybe 10 hours on the road. And they gave me, no offense ladies, a much older lady that was a crane operator. She had no clue how to drive the truck. She come right out and told me I can't remember anything. She got us lost all the time. Made me a much better driver. But
she
for
wasn't
fear of
trained.
your life.
she was just as green as I was.
She was just older. She wasn't seasoned.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, I taught her how to back up. I didn't know how to back up, but I learned that if you just make sure they don't hit anything, eventually, maybe an hour later, you'll get it in there.
In there, as long as you know it's good. As
You
long
don't
as you
get
don't
it.
trade paint with anybody, you've done a good job, honey.
That's right. And so that's what we did. And, you know, we managed to get through, and I learned a lot, and she quit because she couldn't handle it. And I didn't blame her. It was hard. It's been, what, 10 years since we started?
Yeah, about, well, 2000. I was 2008, yeah, when I started. So
we're not allowed to say which company this was.
yeah, you can say what
Oh, you can?
No, we know who it was.
I drove a gold truck, CRST.
CRST.
When she said Iowa, I knew who it was.
Yeah.
Tracy.
And what does that stand for? Cockroach Swim Team?
That's a new one.
I always thought it was Crash and Roll Super Truckers.
Oh, yeah.
And I always, they used to get mad, the old timers would get mad after they went to CRST because originally they were Cedar Rapids Steel Transport. And you call them a Cedar Rapids Steel Transport and they would blow their tops. It was CRST, or Cedar Rapids Steel Transport.
So you basically, like me, educated yourself,
Yeah.
only at a later time and date. Yeah.
It was probably harder for you, right? Would you say? When did you start?
1968.
Okay.
1969.
Wasn't
Did you
that a
start
little
with a
harder?
friend or?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't hard.
So you would say
The
it's getting
trailers
worse.
are narrower, the trailers are shorter. Back then, if you were out on the road and you wanted to shower, 95% of the truck stops only had men's showers.
Yep.
Or they had the team showers. There was no doors on any of the deals, you know. You had to get somebody to guard it, you know.
And you couldn't get another female to guard it, could you?
It was difficult. Every place was different. Every place was different.
So
Every
you
place
just
was
took
different.
showers and
Most of the men's showers were locker room type showers. And they would take their valuables and put it in a Ziploc bag and take it into the shower with you. Because if you didn't, if you laid it out on the bench, it'd get stolen. So you could get somebody to guard the door, but you're holding up 6 or 7 showers for the ladies. I know I caused a riot at the Sunshine Truck stop in Oklahoma City one time. Because there was men's restrooms in the locker shower rooms, and then there was the men's restroom. Well, a lot of them wanted to go back, and the guy was very nice. I said, would you watch the door for me? I'm going to take, and I promise you I'll be fast. And of course I was a curly little red-headed gal, you know, about this wide. And I went in there. Well, the guy comes up and he wants to go in, and the guy says, no, you can't. He said, there's a lady in there. He said, oh yeah, I am. And he says, no, you're not. Well, I didn't pick the biggest guy in the place. I just picked, the first truck driver that was willing to guard the door. And he's standing there arguing with him. Well, in the meantime, the local cops come in for their coffee and their donuts, and there's this little ruckus in this narrow hallway. And I open the door out, and I'm this red, curly, wet hair and shining, and the whole place just went to pieces. I thought I was going to get called off to jail. It was confusion. 3 or 4 people in this narrow hallway, and the wet red-headed gal. It was funny. And the next morning when I called in, I was driving for Smithway Motor Express, pulling flatbed, and our local guy was good, and they were an excellent company to work for. There were several women drivers that owned their own trucks. They were really, really open-minded, very fair. Whatever, this guy was really good about keeping track of all his drivers and where they at, and he knew us like books, all of us. And I called in and said, I'm empty, and he says, yeah. He says, I want to know what went on at the truck stop last night. Well, I caused a riot. Back then I could.